welcome to another Driving in the South episode with Mom. We're with our mom from Celebrating Appalachia, so we're going to put her channel in the description below. What's everybody doing?
I'm doing my macrame, and currently we're following a car that's going 2 miles per hour through the Brady curve. This is a bad curve. I kind of generally think it's a good idea to giddy on up through this curve, but
lots of accidents,
yeah,
especially in the wintertime. It kind of gets icy.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous curve. Another thing you won't be able to see is you can see it on the way going out. There's a bunny nailed to a phone pole. A stuffed animal of a rabbit is nailed to this phone pole over here. It's been like that for years. Do you remember seeing that, Corey?
Yeah, I don't
It's kind
know
of
what
weird,
it's
but
for,
it's just
but
this rabbit stuffed animal nailed to the phone pole, and the Brady curve's always been there. It's weird.
yeah, it is kind of strange. We thought it would be kind of cool in this video to share kind of our memories of this trip for us. We've had to drive this way very many times, going to gigs, going to different things. We're headed towards Asheville today. We've got lots of stories and memories about this trip, this Trekker Road.
Well, I remember occasionally, once or twice, we'd make this trek in the snow. Or there would have been snow on the ground, and it was just kind of understood that the road conditions weren't great, and it was kind of slick. And for years, many years, we would make this trip in the 4Runner, the car that I drive now, and that was always fun. And then every time we got a new car, to me, it was always fun. I'm like, man, we're breaking it in, making this trip, taking it through the gorge, through the Brady curve. It was always fun to think about that, because usually, if we ever bought a new car, a lot of the times it would come from Asheville. So instead of making the trip this way, we would make the trip back with the new car. So that was kind of fun too. But I always like to see some of the houses. There's a house up here that always decorates for different seasons, and they have a big pumpkin in the yard, and that's nice. So that's fun.
What about you, Mom? Some memories?
Oh gosh, lots of memories. Traveling back and forth to Papa and Nana's when I worked in Haywood County when I was young, like y'all, traveling back and forth. There's the house with the turkey and the pumpkins. They always decorate. But lots of different memories. So where we're actually going through is Nantahala, and we're about to go through the Nantahala Gorge. And Nantahala in the Cherokee language meant place of the land of the noonday sun, or place of the noonday sun.
Yeah.
Because the mountains are so steep, it's hard for the sun to actually shine in them. Maybe Corey can show you some of the steep mountains. I have lots of memories of traveling through the gorge, even when I was a little girl with Pap and Granny. I remember one time we stopped at one of the in the gorge, there's also a lot of whitewater rafting, so it's a big rafting river through there. We stopped at one of the little shops, and they bought me a little rock necklace. I still have it. So I have good memories like that. I did get car sick. Katie doesn't get car sick in the back working on her macrame and reading books. I get terrible car sick, so I don't have the memories like that of the ones like Katie was talking about, but or like what she's doing today. But yeah, lots of good memories. Lots of traveling to see family. We have family besides Papa and Nana in Haywood County, and in Asheville, Miss Cindy lived in Black Mountain, so lots of traveling back and forth to see family. Lots of traveling back and forth through the gorge to take Pap. He was a Marine, so he went to the VA hospital, is where he went to seek medical attention. So I would lots of times drive him. So lots of those memories.
Yeah, I have lots of the same memories. The kind of last two you mentioned about visiting family and then going to the VA. I remember as a kid, seemed like such a long drive to me, 2 hours or 3 hours. Now it's not so long, but I always really enjoyed getting to see our grandparents. Going to Waynesville, Haywood County, to get to see them was always a really nice thing. And then going to see Miss Cindy when she lived in Black Mountain, that was like such a special trip to get to go and stay out there for a couple of days. Those are honestly some of my fondest memories. And then also with Pap, I remember the last time he went to the VA, it was the winter and it had snowed. And where we live, like our driveway was still snowed in, and so we had to walk to the bottom and get in this truck. And at the time, Dad had this great old big Ford truck, this big diesel truck. And I remember we picked Pap up, we drove up to his house, we were able to get up his driveway, and I just remember riding all the way out, and the roads, you know, the highways were clear, they had salted them and got the snow out of the road, but just on the, you know, the grass, the landscape beside the roads, there was still a lot of snow. And I remember sitting in the back, just looking at all the snow, and it was so cold, and we had to park a ways away to get into the VA. And I remember visiting the VA. That, I think, to my knowledge, that was the only time I was ever at the VA. That's the only time I remember it.
Was I there? Did I go?
No, I don't think you went that trip, Katie.
Where was I?
It's just me and Corey and your daddy and Pap.
Yeah.
Y'all left me because I was so ill behaved.
I don't know. You might have stayed with Granny. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I probably did.
I'm not sure, but I remember that. And then we went to Cracker Barrel, and we love Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I think we've mentioned that even in other videos. And for some reason, I just have like a vague memory. For some reason, like I had been, I don't know if I had been having stomach problems or something. Like, so I had been eating kind of really trying to, I don't know, eat stuff that I thought wouldn't hurt me. And then I remember Dad saying, just, or maybe it was Pap, you know what, I think it was Pap saying, you know, just eat, just get what you want and eat it. So I got this big steak and these carrots, and I remember sitting there eating with him and Mom and Dad, and that was really special. And then it wasn't long after that, I think maybe that was the winter, is that right, Mom, is my memory right? And then the spring he passed away.
So we're beginning to get down into the gorge. You can see the steepness of the...
Yeah, it's very steep.
Me and Matt always, there's one place down here that we always say we wish we could, and we should, it's over there, steep as a mule's face, that's for sure. Try to climb to the top of it. We better hurry though, we're getting too old for that. We better hurry up. We've just been talking about it for 20 years, so we better hurry it up.
It's very steep. I mean, I've never seen probably something steeper.
Yeah, this whole place is steep, and that's why.
You can kind of see there now, maybe once we open up a little.
Yeah.
That's just extremely steep up there,
That's why the
straight
sun
up.
don't get in here.
Exactly.
Not much, it doesn't. I mean, it gets in here a little bit, but it ain't in here long, and it's out.
Now, Mama, have you ever been rafting?
I have.
Didn't you go once?
One time, yeah. One time. Now, see right ahead, there's the part me and Matt wish we could climb up. You can see, it's just a literal...
Go
Yeah,
straight
you just have
up.
to use the line of
Yeah.
the mountain there to give you an idea of just how steep it is.
Yeah. You can begin to see it maybe as we go closer. Now that is steep as a mule's face.
Yeah.
You can see all
It
the
just
way up
goes
there,
straight up.
Yeah,
Nothing but straight up right
Yeah.
there.
straight up. Yes, so I have been rafting one time, and it was so cold. It was fun. It was in the summer, but my goodness, the water was so cold. And I had a good time. That was in the days I worked at Lake Logan, and a bunch of us, my fellow employees, come out here and went. And it was an enjoyable day, but pretty much that was enough rafting for me.
Yeah,
I
don't
much
blame you.
prefer. Now you can really begin to see too how steep all the way up there to the top.
Yeah, very steep, guys.
I much prefer, there's a place near here, Deep Creek, where people will go and ride inner tubes down. I much prefer Deep Creek to rafting in the Nantahala myself.
I have a problem with being not in control. And tubing to me screams, or not tubing, well, even tubing, Lord, I don't like to do that. But whitewater rafting screams out of control to me. So it's not really for me. Plus, I wouldn't be any fun to take on a whitewater rafting trip because I would be wanting to stop the raft every 5 seconds. I
lift the
saw a
rocks.
rock. Stop the raft. I need it. And our raft would sink by the time we were done.
You fill it with rocks.
So I think for everybody else's fun enjoyment, I shouldn't go.
You can see the
Wow.
steam coming off.
Yeah.
The river, yeah. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not sure I would love to raft. I've only done just like the going down Deep Creek
Yeah, I
or in
don't like
Helen, just the small, where you can stand up at any point,
still
where it's
too much
not
for
even
me.
deep enough really to get submerged. But the river is beautiful. I mean, every time we've come through here over the years, you always see people rafting, and it's just beautiful. Really, any time of year you come through here.
So one of our friends and musical mentor kind of people, Lee Knight, he has been a rafter, like a guided rafter on the Nantahala for like 42 years or something.
Yeah.
A long time he's been riding the river.
Then a couple years ago, and this has happened on and off, they've had slides where, like, well, you can see that sign right there says slide area. I remember one time we were at the beach a couple years ago, and this is the way we come to kind of, you know, go, I guess, most places, not all places, but a lot of places, and we had come this way, and then we couldn't come back this way because there was a slide.
And one of those slides trapped some people in the gorge. It didn't slide
See,
on them,
that
it
was one of the
trapped them.
slides right there. You can see where they had to kind of try to work on it.
The poor people had to stay overnight. Just
They
in
were
their
okay
car.
though, just in their car,
The slide
right?
didn't go on them, but they were just trapped in the gorge and couldn't get to the other side. If that happened to me, I'd have to call home and say, somebody lock my chickens up and feed them. I'd be
Yeah.
worried about them.
Please take care of my chickens.
Yeah,
There's lots of little waterfalls coming off the mountain. I just missed one. Just had the camera down for a second, and I'm like, oh man.
it makes you wonder just how many little waterfalls and little branches come off the top of the mountain like that. Lots of them. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
A fun thing to do is in the wintertime, those little waterfalls, of course you couldn't stop right here because this is way too dangerous of a highway, but people would stop and get on an icicle. Did we get you an icicle on that last trip with Pap that you was talking about, Corey?
It seems like we
stopped
did.
and got you because we started talking about that and about how that people would stop and break an icicle off like a popsicle almost, and you couldn't believe it or whatever, and then it seems like Pap said stop and get the girl a piece of ice.
Seems like
we
it.
did, yeah.
That's funny. I didn't remember that, but it
It'd
does
be
seem
really
like
good,
it.
clean water. I mean,
Yeah.
it just comes straight from the mountain and nothing to disturb it. It makes me wonder too if, one was to ever metal detect up through there in some of those highest places, if you could find just where people had been, where maybe civilization, if Indians had lived up there, just different people had come through there.
Might be interesting to research and some of your viewers, I can think of one, probably knows when the area was logged the last time, like was it industrial logged or,
Right.
and if there was did they have, like in the mountains above in Haywood County, you can find old railroad tracks where they built them so that they could log those mountains. And I wonder if that's here or how they got if they just used mule and oxen power to get the logs out.
Yeah. That's where you would be more likely to find bottles or just traces of other human activity, civilization of any kind in these mountains probably would be from logging. I mean, because it's not likely that people would have went to the very top in just the steepest place there was and had a house. Now, I'm sure they could have, and I'm sure there was one or two, but it'd be a needle in a haystack looking for that, but you would be more likely to find traces of
I think that's
logging.
one of those places is where Pap and Granny stopped and bought my little stone. I gotta find it when I go home. See if
This
I
little
think I've
spot
still
up
got
here
it. Yeah.
that always sells peanuts, Miss Cindy told me she used to stop all the time and get peanuts.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of where that funny little truck somewhere right around there, that little peanut shack said she always stopped and got boiled peanuts.
Boiled peanuts are very good.
She used to, when she'd come years ago to see us, when she still lived in Black Mountain, she'd stop through here too and buy your daddy some fresh pork skins. Right here it is, right there it is.
Oh, there's
It's almost
the peanut.
covered up.
Can't
with
even
that,
hardly
too.
see it.
That's
Yeah.
it. She would also bring him a pack of fresh pork skins, pork rinds.
Pork rinds are keto, you know.
Yeah, there ain't no fat there.
Or it's
Well, it is all fat. That's the thing.
Opposite. Hold on.
That was
There ain't
opposite.
It's
There's
all fat and ain't no carbs.
right,
That's what I was
it's all
looking
fat.
for.
It's pure fat.
Pure
so
fat,
that's why
right.
it's keto.
Well, I don't do pork rinds because I never had a taste for them.
Well, those fresh ones are something else. I'm telling
I like potato skins.
Those are different, but also good.
Yeah, but I still like them.
I don't know if you can see, but that is the train. It's moving along through there. I'm gonna roll the window up because I know the wind is bad. A couple weeks or so ago, one of the trains derailed. It wasn't that one. It was one coming from Bryson City, which comes this way. Yes, no injuries, just a simple little derail. And so they went ahead and started working to fix it. A lot of the times you see motorcycles like that. Lots of people enjoy riding through the gorge on the motorcycles. And somewhere, I think we already passed it. We did. There's a quarry where they get rock. And that's always interesting because they have gigantic piles of gravel, and I always want to go get in the gravel. But very nice, and at this point, the river has crossed to the other side of the road, so now I get to look at the river. Now Katie gets to video and give my arms a break. Yes, and I finished my bracelet. Whole bag of thread, so I can make myself more bracelets. Here you go, Corey. Nothing interesting back here. You can see the river, and then you can't, and kind of, you know. And I love all the kudzu. I mean, I know it's invasive, but it just makes everything look soft and like it.
What they need to get rid of the kudzu is a gang of goats.
Yeah.
Goats do the trick.
So we're starting to come up on the more congested area. So like if you were to come to Nantahala, this is where you could eat. This is where the outdoor center's at. You'll see it a little bit more as we come around the curve here. And then over here, once we get closer, I'll point out was one of
like a walkway. Where you
and there's like a walkway and
river,
a place where you can get down to the river.
View the rafters coming by.
Yeah. This over here, let me see if I can point. It's kind of over there, kind of area.
Fishing or with a net? I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know.
They've got
That
a net.
looks like
That's
it.
that's probably some
But that was one of our like first gigs over there, at least without Pap and Paul, and it actually was not a super great gig. We were
I
like,
remember it's because I had a bronchitis and I was
Yes.
taking them antibiotics and they made me sick.
yes, and we were supposed to play for like 3 hours, and they didn't even pay us like they said they would. It just was not super great.
I was wearing this hideous dress.
I don't remember that, but
I do.
anyways, it's funny to think back about now, but it was not funny at the time.
Pap, tell them what Pap said. Pap said, I can't believe you played in a beer joint.
Yeah, it was kind of like a outdoor bar type of deal.
Or he said, no wonder it didn't go good. You was playing in a beer joint or something
Yeah.
like that. But Ben, Corey and Katie's cousin, he did that. I mean, he
Yeah.
got us the gig. He wanted Corey and Katie, and and he still is, a great supporter of their music. He helped them a lot in those days. Up to that point, they mostly went along with Pap and Paul and me, and then they would come on stage and sing a couple of songs and then go off, and Pap and Paul would do the rest. But Ben was encouraging them to go out on their own. So, and he played, actually, I remember Ben played with you that night. It was
Yeah,
you
he
and
did.
Katie and Ben. Me and Paul did not play. I don't even think, did Paul come?
I don't
can't
think so. I
remember.
think it was just me and you and Katie and Ben.
Yeah, but you did have some fans.
Yeah.
Some fans come from Murphy, and
Yeah.
they sat right there the whole night.
Yeah.
Katie's bronchitis and all. That made it tough because Katie could not sing every song because of her.
Well, then halfway
bronchitis.
through the night, the antibiotics on the back of the package said there's a 3% chance that these will make you sick. And then about
Yeah.
9 o'clock, here come the 3% chance, and I thought I'm gonna have to hit the river. I'm gonna blow chunks, and I don't want nobody here to see me. It was a disaster.
Then
So
right here,
I did. Yeah.
right down here is a gym mine that we went to when we were kids. Remember that, Katie?
Yeah, because I remember Corey found a big purple rock, and I cried because I didn't find one.
So then
I made
Dad
my
had to
pay
go.
like $40
Right.
for
Then
this
Dad
stupid
went in the
purple rock.
store and bought one.
Yeah.
That's how he tells it. He's like, I had to pay $40 for another stupid purple rock. And I'm like, the sad thing is, I don't even know where that rock is now.
A lot of the times you get in front of trucks and he's letting everybody buy,
Nice.
which is
When it was
nice.
over, it was fine. Yeah, when you pay $25 for a bucket of dirt for kids to go through.
Oh, we had a blast though.
The funny thing is now I could turn that $25 bucket into a pretty little payday if I still had what come out of the $25 bucket.
You
There's
have
no
to go do it again.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You find one rock, and that one rock brings you 50. So you've paid for your trip there. It's fun. I mean, it's a fun time, and it was fun when I was a kid because I thought there's a magic mountain where this stuff's coming from. I had no idea they were salted buckets. They come on a ship like that, you know.
So we are about to leave the gorge and go on to the next leg of our journey here. This is always, for me at least, a little bit of a relief when we go around this last hill, this last curve, and it gets on to the 4-lane, and then it's just really a straight shot of highway. The
Thank
gorge
goodness.
is pretty. It's prettier to look at, but if you get car sick, it's not the funnest
Behind
time.
a log truck.
Or if you get behind a log truck.
Or if you just get behind somebody that drives like grandma, which they could be grandma, and they could be scared if they've never drove through the gorge before.
Yeah, and this is not really a place you can drive super fast.
No.
It's funny when we get down here to the bottom, you'll be able to see, well, you can already see it, this place to the left. We used to meet Papa and Nana, that was the halfway point, and they would pick us up right there.
Did you go spend a week with Papa and Nana?
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope enjoyed kind of getting to hear our memories of the gorge. Drop us a comment and let us know if you've ever been to the Nantahala Gorge, or if there's another gorge where you live, or any kind of other memories that you'd like to share with us. Bye!
Bye.
Catch you at the next video.